Okay, I'm gonna swap out these Terraflex ones. You can see that I bent them. I left them on and I tore one of the flaps. They're not bad. They're just rubber and they're not super durable. So I'm gonna take those off. Probably need to clean this thing before I do this. And I'm gonna switch it for these Rokblokz one. My brother-in-law got them and they look awesome. So I'm following the instructions. I just got my front left flap put together. Pretty simple. Almost everything is marked really nicely. Left, front. It's easy to work with. I really like the material. But I've come to a problem right here. I've got these Quadratec rock rails here, which, as you can see, have taken a beating and protected my body quite a bit. And this is the mount that's supposed to go right up in here. It does not fit with that rock rail there. So part of me is wondering if I have to take my whole rock rail off to get this up behind it and then mount the rock rail to it, or if I need to modify the metal to make it fit in there. They say you're supposed to just kind of curve it around there. I was thinking, oh, I'll take the body mount off too. I took these two screws off, these two nuts, and I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just take that off and put that in there. But this actual piece does not fit within kind of the housing of the rock rail mount. So I'm wondering if this is going to have to go on the back side of this. Regardless, I'm not going to do the front ones today. Once you get this actually mounted up under there, then you've got these two little bolts that screw into that are, I guess, just tension fitted with your fingers. They go on pretty tight. Feels like a good fit. But that's kind of how it would look. It would be all the way back here, away from my wheel, so I think out of the way, and it sticks out far enough that I think it would pretty much protect everybody from anything flinging off my front wheels too, which is really cool. I'm gonna put the other front flap together just so it's done, like the other one, and then when I get up the gumption to rip off those rock rails and see if it'll fit behind it, I'll do that then. So I got 6 little push-in screws that I'm going to tap in with. I'm sure if it was warm, these would probably be easier to fit in. They're molded to the back side of the nut, but it's just a little too hard with it being as cold. It's December, so I've been just whacking them with a hammer. Okay, all tapped on. Then you flip it around to the I'm going to call it the front. It's the part that's facing outside. So the wheel is on this side. This is where the dirt and mud's going to collect. And actually it's kind of a good design because this is just going to be pretty smooth, except for those two. Then there's 2 types of screw. You're going to have 4 short ones and 2 long ones, and they require a little Allen. And I think he said it's, I forget what size it is, but it's pretty small, and it is standard, not metric. I usually hate using standard tools. So basically, then you get these 2 things. They're marked right front A, right front B, and it pretty much, you flip this sucker over, and just like it says, A goes down first, creating a gap there. You line up the holes, and then B goes down. And then you do the first 4 holes back here with the short one. Then you take this right front C, and it goes right there, lined up the 2 long bolts, and then that part stays open for the moment. And basically threading these down in there. Once you've got that, the fit and finish of this thing is really nice. Once you've got a couple of these in there, they all line up. So you can see that these, I mean, they pretty much drop in, which is cool. You can finger start them so you're not cross-threading something. Really pretty easy, which is nice. I'm gonna tighten this down. I almost forgot this. They tell you to put a little Glava medium thread locker on there. So I'm going to quickly do that. I did it on the first one. I will do that just to make sure. Now they say to tighten it down just enough to kind of like push into this plastic material. I don't know what this stuff's called, but it's pretty cool, pretty flexible, pretty forgiving. But because those are wide, they don't really dimple down in, but these ones do. I don't know if you can see it. But so what I did is I tightened it down till these kind of push down and called that good. Now there's a couple of these that slide over and the little threaded area should stick up above. That's how it goes, like that. So I'm just gonna pop these if I can. They're pretty tight. They kind of slide on and then click into place. It's not too hard, but it is tight. Like I'm saying, the fit and finish so far is really nice. It's harder to do with one hand. Okay, this is one more try and then I use profanity and have to change the level of this video too. So I was able to do it with my right hand. I'm just going to do it with my left. But you can see how tight, like, the design's really nice. There's no sharp edges. These come in multiple colors too. Although I think black was the cheapest, and I went with it because I really don't want to see them. My other mud flaps, my Terraflex ones, they're the old Terraflex. They were more visible than the wheel, and I don't really want to see them. I just want them to keep the rocks from flicking around. And the metal bracket that slides in there, like that's what you would slide it on. It has some oval, the space in there is oval, so you can kind of adjust it in and out a little bit, but it makes it really easy to put these bolts on. They just go on really, really easy. And so far, that's like everything you have to put together on this thing just is really easy. So the only problem I'm coming into is because I have these aftermarket rock rails, I can't fit this up in there without either taking the whole thing off, the whole rock rail off, or modifying this bracket. So I'm going to play around with that before I do that. So now I'm going to move on to the rear. Okay, got the rear ones on. Pretty much you reuse these bolts from whatever else you had on there, or they're stock bolts, and then you just angle this how you want it, and you can slide this in and out depending on what you want. This is a 37-inch tire, and this covers it almost completely. I like it, and they're super easy to get off. This one was a little bit more trouble, but that's simply because my aftermarket bumper got in the way. So what I did was I got the angle where I wanted it, then I bent the bar out just a little bit to get it more in conformance, because it was a little bit pushed in instead of out. But still there's gonna be no rocks coming off the bottom of that.